Hello Aquarius, welcome to Vidya's Prophecy Tarot. This is a general love reading for Sun, Moon, Rising and Venus signs. Aquarius, let's get started. I'm just going to do a simple, I'll do a 12 card spread and then we'll clarify that and see what the message is. Okay, so I'm sure many of you know how tarot works and you know that general readings don't apply to everyone. If it doesn't sound like your story, please don't force it to fit. You could check your other placements, especially moon and rising signs, as those might resonate more. Okay, so let's get started. Aquarius, what is the message for Aquarius? Message. Ooh, 3 of Swords. Okay, first card out. Ooh, okay. What's the message here for Aquarius? 5 of Swords. 2 of Wands. And the Hanged Man. And message for Aquarius, please. We've got the Tower, the 8 of Wands, Justice. And one more. 5 of Pentacles. Message for Aquarius. What is this? Ace of Cups, Temperance, 7 of Wands, and one more. We've got the Hierophant. Wow. With the 6 of Swords. Okay. So Aquarius, you could be considering a move. Okay. You could be wanting to move on from something. With the 3 of Swords, it feels like there is a potential for someone to be hurt here. Okay, it could even be you. Either you or, or you could be hurting other people. This movement could be causing pain to others. With the 5 of Swords, you have mixed feelings about this because I feel like you do want to move, but you don't want to hurt these people, And so you're at a crossroads here. With the Hanged Man, it feels like you may have taken quite a while to think about this. It feels like you've been standing at this crossroads for a while, not sure what to do. And with the Hanged Man, maybe you need to see things differently here. There are assumptions and old ideas maybe that you've been holding on to, and it's time to let those go. Okay. With the Tower, you feel like this move is going to be a tower. Okay, now this is some fast movement here. Okay, you feel that if you do this action, whatever it is, movement away, it's going to be a tower and it's going to move very quickly, perhaps into some kind of legal situation here. Okay, you may be worried that this is going to leave you worse off. It says material trouble here, so you could be worried that this legal situation is going to leave you worse off. Okay. Now, there is something that you wish to move towards with this Ace of Cups, some kind of renewal. With Temperance as well, it feels like something you truly desire, Aquarius. It's good for you, right? It's really good for you. And you're determined here, maybe to fight for this, or there is a need to be determined to fight for this, okay? With the 7 of Wands, it's about, with the Hierophant here, it's about committing. So it's like choosing a path and then committing to it, okay? But the 7 of Wands also says that there are obstacles to overcome here, right? It says valor here. So it means this movement is not going to be easy, okay? There are challenges here and it's going to need your full commitment. And for some of you, that could involve legalities, which you're worried about, okay? So let's see. Aquarius, what's the message for Aquarius? And please do keep in mind, if it doesn't resonate as love, it could, although these are love readings, but they are general, so it could, for some of you, resonate in as work, okay? Let's look at the 3 of Swords. Where's our Death? Star reversed. Aquarius, here you are. Look, you're not feeling it where you are, okay? Whether it's a job or relationship, you don't feel the same here anymore with the Star in reverse. It's like you feel completely hopeless. Okay, now let's look at this 5 of Swords. Was a Five of Swords there. Two of Cups. You're conflicted. I think you do, whatever you're leaving behind, you do miss, you have some love, okay? You have love or some affection for them. It could even be just family that you're moving on from, right? But you also have this new opportunity that is pulling you. And so you've got mixed feelings about all of this, okay? Let's look at that Two of Wands. Yeah, the King of Pentacles. For some of you, your own financial stability is at stake here, right? There could be financial commitments that are holding you there, okay? Let's look at the Hanged Man. The Emperor. I think this is about releasing control to some extent, Aquarius, okay? You may be, because you're standing at this crossroads, you could be worried about trying to control the way the wind blows, right? Trying to control outcomes. I think there's a need to see that you can't do this. You have to go for whatever it is you want and then kind of let the chips fall where they do, okay? I think there's a need to relinquish trying to control things because maybe some of it you just can't control, and that could be why you're at this crossroads for a really long time, because you're just waiting for everything to just be perfect, right? So you can control the outcome, and I don't think you can. Let's look at the Tower. The Judgment. Yeah, I think you need to have this massive realization, okay? And your decision is also going to come as a tower to other people, right? People who may have been counting on you with this King of Pentacles, counting on you maybe to always be there, right? Whether you wanted to or not. Now let's look at this Eight of Wands. Actually, let me get one more on the Tower. Why is the Tower there? Ten of Cups. Yeah, I think if it's a job or family or whatever, your judgment here to move on is going to shatter the peace here. It's going to shatter some illusions, right? For example, if it's a job, these people could have thought that you're very happy there, right? And it's going to come as a shock that you're not, that you're actually, that you maybe haven't been happy for a while and you want to move on. Let's look at that Eight of Wands. Eight of Swords. Yeah, I think you're feeling stuck, and you want to move on from this, but it's just your own thoughts that are keeping you stuck, right? In the Eight of Swords, you're not in an actual, it's sort of a prison of your thoughts, okay? And I think that's why you've been standing at this crossroads for the longest time, because you need to question your own assumptions and your own views here, with the Emperor, it's also a very traditional energy. It's one of control and traditional values, and I feel like to some extent that is what you need to question here, okay? Let's look at Justice. Ace of Wands. Yeah, if you go for this new thing, opportunity, whatever it is, it probably will mean some sort of legalities. Let's look at the Five of Pentacles. Yeah, the Wheel of Fortune. You feel like, I think you feel that this legality is going to leave you worse off, okay, with that Five of Pentacles. You feel like it's going to leave you worse off, and you're worried about this, about the change, If you're not worried for yourself, it could be worried for the people you're leaving behind, okay? Like maybe if it's a company, they really rely on you. Maybe you bring in all the sales, right? Something like that. And you are worried that if you leave, it's going to leave them worse off, okay? So it could go either way. Let's look at the Ace of Cups. Chariot, yeah. You want to move towards this new opportunity though. And maybe that's the thing here with the Emperor and the Hanged Man. There's assumptions and things that need control that needs to go. So if it's a job and you're worried that these people are going to be worse off if you move on, then you need to relinquish that idea of trying to control the outcome for them. You can only do what you have to do, and then it's up to them to step up, right? Let's look at Temperance. Yeah, the Hierophant. There's a new opportunity, but it's going to require commitment from you. So I think the thing is, you can't be committed to these two things, okay? You got to pick one. And it seems like you know in your heart the one that you want to pick. Because wherever you are, you're not really, you're not yourself there. Let's look at the Seven of Wands. Yeah, the World. There's going to be successful completions. If you want to have this new chapter, you are going to have to see out the completion of whatever else you're in. So if it's a job, there'll be legalities, there'll be formalities, right? Whatever, you're going to have to see that through. And if it's family, then I feel like you will have to, if you're just moving away from a community or family that rely on you, you're gonna, it could even involve travel, right? That could be seen as an obstacle. Now let's look at the Hierophant. Yeah, the King of Cups. You have to commit to whatever it is you truly want, okay? That's what I'm getting. Let's look at the Hierophant again. So Aquarius, where is the Hierophant there? Ace of Swords. Yeah, that's the truth. Okay, you got to commit to whatever it is. You got to be authentic. Okay. Let's clarify a little bit more. Okay. Let's look at the Star reversed. Why are you completely out of sorts here? Okay. Why is the Star in reverse there for Aquarius? The Magician. And one more. The Six of Wands. Yeah, your heart's not in it, okay? You feel like you're just there to please other people with the Magician and the Six of Wands, and you want to manifest something better for yourself, something more authentically you, and you're not feeling it in the current situation, okay? Now, let's look at the Two of, let's look at the King of Pentacles. Yeah, Two of Wands again. So you are at a crossroads, okay? You just have to choose what you're going to commit to. Let's look at the Emperor. The Moon. One more. Emperor. Why is the Emperor there for Aquarius? Yeah, Knight of Wands. You're trying to, you have fears, Aquarius, that you could be being hasty here, okay? In leaving your comfort zone or the situation that you're in. And so you're just standing there with that Hanged Man. It's taking a long time because you're too afraid, of the unknown. You're afraid that you're being hasty. Even though the situation, whatever you're leaving, is not really something you're passionate about anymore, I think you have a degree of control there, okay? You know everything. You have a certain position. If it's a job, it's secure. You have a recognition there. You're pulling in a certain income, right? And if it's a relationship, then I'm not really strongly getting that you're leaving a relationship. For some of you, it might be, but if it is, then it's like, even though you haven't been feeling yourself there for a long time, it's on the surface it looks like that happy, and you know the lie of the land, and moving towards the unknown is scary for you, okay? Because I think you want to exercise some kind of control, and that's what you need to give up here. You can't control the new thing, okay? Now let's look at the Moon. Yeah, Knight of Pentacles. See, for some of you this really could be in the realm of work, okay? But you have fears regarding whether you're being hasty. Is this going to last with the Knight of Pentacles, okay? That's a new thing. That's what I feel. And so for some of you, it's also about your own responsibilities in the thing that you're leaving. So as I said, for some of you, you're worried that whoever you're leaving behind is going to be struggling without you, right? So it's like a good thing for you, but they'll struggle, okay? And that's not really something, you need to surrender that, because it's not your job to endlessly worry and provide for these people, right? Like, they've got to step up, okay? Let's look at Judgment. Yeah, the Emperor. I think you have a position of authority. You are seen to have the control in that whatever situation you're in, and you're going to have to relinquish that. Let's look at the Eight of Swords. Yeah, Empress. You feel trapped because you want this new other opportunity, you want this new life for yourself, um, and you feel stuck where you are. Okay, let's look at the Wheel of Fortune. Four of Cups. Yeah, you're bored. And you want this new cup, Three of Cups as well. So, all your emotions are telling you to go towards the new thing, okay? But there's confusion about the change. The change is always confusing, right? There's no certainty with this change. And I think that's what's giving you a lot of, a lot of pause. So even though you're not happy where you are, even though you're kind of bored, you've got the comfort of the known. Okay, let's look at the Chariot here. Yeah, the Chariot again. So, I mean, you just really want to move towards this new Ace of Cups opportunity. Let's look at the World. Four of Wands. Yeah, some of you have to leave a home, or if it's a job, a stable job behind. Yeah, in order to move on. Okay. Now let's look at the Ace of Swords. Three of Wands and one more. Eight of Swords. See, you're in your fears about the future with the Three of Wands, but you already know the truth, okay? You know the truth. I think you're just trying not to see it, With the Three of Wands and the Eight of Swords, you know that it's not going to change for you in the current situation. If you stay there, you're still going to feel trapped. You're still going to feel stuck. And you have to commit to the new, okay? You do have to commit. Yeah. That's what I'm getting there. If it's a new relationship, then for some of you, I mean, you have your counterpart, okay, that you're meant to go towards. And some of you could be slightly older. You could have that position, of like a patriarch or something, and maybe like you're a father, right? And your children are not going to be super happy, okay, if you move on. There's something like this, but the point is that they need to step up, They need to step up. Whoever you're leaving behind will have to step up, okay? That's what I'm getting. And that'll be good for them because that's growth for them. I'm not getting that you're leaving a spouse, honestly. Let me get another card on Judgment. Yeah, Two of Cups. The fact that you want to go somewhere else, you know what it is, whether it's a person or job, whatever this Empress opportunity represents. Yeah, here you are, Aquarius, with the King of Swords. You do know, okay? I think what you're not prepared to do here is to act like the King of Swords and be decisive, okay? You need to be decisive. So that's what I have for you, Aquarius. Yeah, you just need to make a decision. You already know with the Ace of Swords, okay? You know what you need. You know what you want to do. You know who you want to commit to, who or what. It's just about having courage to go for it, okay? That's what I'm getting. And I think with the Wheel of Fortune, this is also fated. There is a question of divine timing here, Aquarius. Maybe you need to move on for these other people to step up. I'm getting that step up very strongly. So it must be a message for at least some of you, okay? You need to, if you've been holding, you've been doing everything, holding the fort, providing the structure, whatever, and people have maybe become overly reliant on you, there is a need to move on. It's like fated so that they can step up, okay? So you don't have to feel so bad about leaving them behind because it's their chance, to step up. That's what I get, okay? Okay, so Aquarius, please tell me if that resonates at all. I would love to hear from you. Do hit like, share, and subscribe, guys, and I'll see you next time.